Drowning alien girl rescued by heroic human. You won't believe what happens next. The storm. The first time I saw Earth's ocean up close, I thought it was beautiful, a glittering expanse of liquid sapphire under a golden sun. I was Lyra, a xenobiologist from the planet Vera, here to study aquatic ecosystems. My species had never encountered a planet so alive, so chaotic, and so deceptively dangerous. The storm hit without warning. Waves rose taller than skyscrapers, and lightning tore across the sky in jagged ribbons. My research vessel groaned under the assault, and in a flash of water and wind, I was thrown overboard. My suit flooded. My lungs burned. Gravity felt heavier, the ocean pulling me into its icy depths. Panic surged. I had faced dangerous planets, volatile storms, and predatory creatures, but this was pure, indifferent death. 2. The rescue. Then I saw him, a human. He moved through the waves like he owned them, cutting through water with strength and precision I'd never seen in any other species. His name was Ethan, a volunteer lifeguard from a coastal town. "Hold on," he shouted, grabbing my arm with surprising strength. His eyes, so human, so determined, anchored me as the sea tried to drag me down. I barely had the strength to respond. My body was shutting down. But somehow, he kept me afloat, swimming against waves that should have crushed us both. By the time we reached the shore, I was gasping, barely conscious. Ethan collapsed beside me, soaked and exhausted, yet still alert. "You're safe now," he said, and for the first time in hours, I believed it. 3. Recovery and observation. Days passed as I recovered in a human research facility. Ethan visited constantly, bringing food, blankets, and strange comfort devices. As I watched him, I noticed peculiar things about humans. They were fragile, yes, prone to injury and fatigue, but also resilient in ways my species had never evolved. Humans endured extreme conditions. They adapted. And they protected others, even at risk to themselves. One afternoon, I said, "Your species, it seems to accelerate recovery. Not only your own, but mine." Ethan laughed. "Guess that's what happens when you're used to crazy storms and dangerous oceans." I realized it wasn't luck or physiology. Something about his presence triggered changes in my own body. My alien metabolism was adapting faster than expected. My reflexes sharpened. My wounds healed with unnatural speed. Humans were catalysts. 4. A strange signal. Weeks later, while cataloging marine life, I detected an anomaly. An underwater energy source, massive and unnatural. My instruments screamed of something intelligent, something predatory, lurking in the depths. Ethan insisted on accompanying me. "You saved me once. I'm not letting you face this alone." He didn't know what he was up against, he couldn't have, but humans have a rare courage, instinct paired with creativity. He didn't panic. He didn't hesitate. He adapted. We prepared a small submersible and descended into the abyss. Pressure built around us like a living thing. The readings grew stronger, pulsing with life and intelligence. And then we saw it. The predator. A creature of unimaginable size and power, bioluminescent nodes blinking across its massive tentacles, circled a sunken ship. It was not natural. It was not of Earth. I froze. My instincts screamed to flee. Ethan placed a hand on the console. "Steady. We observe first. React second." The alien predator lunged, but he anticipated its movement, manipulating sonar signals to confuse it. With precise maneuvers, he guided it away, allowing me to collect critical samples. I watched him, heart pounding. Humans do not just survive, they improvise, they strategize, and they thrive in chaos. We escaped unscathed, the predator retreating into the dark depths. 6. The the transformation. After the encounter, my biology began to change further. The human proximity acted as a catalyst. My senses sharpened, my reflexes quickened, and my strength increased beyond normal Varen limits. Ethan's presence triggered these changes, though he was unaware. Humans, I realized, could awaken latent potential in other species. They were not just survivors, they were activators. Even small gestures, his hand on mine, his laughter elicited physiological reactions in me. Healing accelerated. Focus improved. Fear turned into clarity. I began to see humans not just as allies, but as forces of transformation. 7. The deeper threat. Weeks later, our instruments detected a larger anomaly, far bigger and more intelligent than the first. My instincts screamed to retreat. Ethan smiled. We'll face it. Together. We descended into the dark abyss, facing creatures that could crush the submersible in moments. My heart raced. The pressure was unbearable. But with Ethan's guidance, I adapted. Reflexes honed by his presence. Mind sharpened by his calm. Together, we dodged attacks and recorded the creature's behavior. Then, for the first time, we attempted communication. Using sonar patterns and bioelectric signals, we reached the predator's intelligence. It paused, studied us. And then, unexpectedly, it retreated. Humans had conveyed empathy, bravery, and logic qualities that even the alien predator understood. 8. Bond forged in danger. After the encounter, on the surface, I looked at Ethan differently. He was no longer just a rescuer. He was a partner, a guide, a catalyst for my transformation. You saved me twice, I whispered. Not just from drowning, from death itself. You saved yourself too, he said with a grin. I just pointed the way. Yet I knew the truth. Humans could awaken potential in other species. Their presence, their courage, and their empathy were like catalysts in a chemical reaction, unlocking abilities I didn't know I possessed. 9. Facing the unknown together. Months later, we returned to the beach where I first nearly drowned. The ocean was calm, but I could feel the latent power beneath the surface oceans full of untapped danger. Ethan turned to me. Ready to dive again? I smiled. With you. Always. We didn't know what other alien forces awaited beneath the waves. We didn't know what new threats might emerge. But one thing was certain. Together, we could survive anything. Humans were extraordinary not because they were fastest, strongest, or most advanced, but because they never gave up, never hesitated, and could catalyze life in ways no one expected. And I, once drowning and helpless, was now stronger, faster, and more alive than ever. The revelation. In the quiet aftermath, I understood the profound truth. Humans are not just survivors. They are transformers of life. Their courage, empathy, and adaptability create ripples that awaken potential in others. I am no longer just Lyra, the Varen xenobiologist. I am something new, something forged by danger, by ocean, and by the human named Ethan. We will face unknown threats together, the bond between human and alien stronger than any storm, predator, or cosmic anomaly. And every time I look at Ethan, I remember the moment that changed everything, the day a human saved my life and unknowingly transformed it forever.